This is Biology 2, Chapter 30 on mammals. In this portion of the video lecture, we will be discussing general mammalian characteristics. And two particular characteristics that separate mammals out from all of the other animals in the animal kingdom are the presence of hair and mammary glands. And of course, mammary glands produce and secrete milk for the offspring. Mammals are K-strategists, so they live longer lives and they have fewer offspring, but they parent those offspring. So for a very short time, all mammal offspring are dependent on their parents for survival, in particular the mother for the milk. Some mammals are parents for a very short time, some parent for years and years. Development of mammals is different, but all mammals for a very short time depend on their parents for survival. And of course, functions of hair. There's lots of different functions of body hair, and again, some mammals have more hair than others. Insulation is mainly the function of hair for mammals. Some mammals have hairs or hair-like projections that are used for sensory devices, like, for example, whiskers on cats or dogs or rats. They can use that to gauge how wide a gap is. Some mammals use their hair for waterproofing. So for something like the duck-billed platypus, the water kind of beads off of the hair because the hair is very oily, so it helps waterproof the skin and insulate as well from colder water temperatures. Camouflage is another one. Lots of animals use their skin and mammals use their hair in order to blend into their environment. Some mammals, their hair can be considered a defense. If the hair is very coarse or thick, the predator can't sink their teeth through all that to get to skin, so it could be considered a defense mechanism. Also a signaling signal. White-tailed deer are called white-tailed deer because the back of their tails are white, and when one deer in a herd flips up their back of their tail, that's a warning signal to the others that something may be in the general vicinity. Other characteristics of mammals is endothermy, which is the ability to produce internal body heat by metabolic reactions. So endothermy is keeping a steady body temperature regulated by internal feedback mechanisms. Birds are also endothermic. Reptiles, fish, and amphibians are what we consider ectothermic. So their body temperature is generally the same as the environment. But mammals can keep and maintain that steady body temperature. Some animals will either sweat or perspire to control their body temperature. Other mammals, like dogs and the like, can pant, so they let water evaporate from the nose and mouth, and that helps cool them off and control their body temperature. All mammals eat. We have a variety of diets for mammals. Some are herbivores, some are carnivores, and some are omnivores. But the shape and the length of the digestive tract can really give you clues about a mammal's diet. Herbivores have very long digestive tracts, and that is because they are having to digest all that cellulose, which is very difficult to break up. Some herbivores have what's called a ruminant stomach. So they have a multi-chambered stomach to help them process that plant material. And then they have a nice long intestine to extract all the nutrients. Carnivores, on the other hand, have fairly short digestive tracts. It doesn't take a lot of metabolic energy to break up meat or protein, so they have fairly short digestive tracts. And omnivores, for lack of a better term, have kind of a medium-sized digestive tract. Mammals' teeth can also reveal the life habits or the niche of the mammal as well. The teeth can allude to what type of diet that mammal has and how it eats. On the very left there, we have a lot of different types of shark teeth. Shark teeth are all basically the same. In a shark's mouth, they're all the same shape, roughly the same size. In a mammal's mouth there on the right, you can see that mammals have different teeth for different eating purposes. We have flat teeth in the front for nipping and grabbing leaves off of branches. Mammals have big canine teeth to pierce through meat. And we have the flat molars in the back for grinding up mostly plant material. So many mammals have a wide variety of teeth. And if you're going to eat, you're going to eventually have to go. Mammals are animals that have to, because they live on land all of the time, they have to make sure that they don't drown or dry out inside their bodies. So kidneys perform the function of either excreting, which is getting rid of, or retaining the proper amount of water in body fluids. Kidneys kind of act like the Brita water filter system for your blood. So your blood travels through the kidneys and inside, and the kidneys take and remove all the excess waste from your blood, and then that ends up as urine and or feces. Respiration. Mammals have a very high metabolic rate because we have a requirement for high oxygen levels. Mammals are the only animals that have a diaphragm, which is a kind of a parachute-shaped muscle that sits under the rib cage. And it helps mammals breathe more efficiently without having to use the actual muscles that surround their rib cage. So when you inhale, your diaphragm will contract, pulling down on your rib cage, which causes a vacuum, which will help expand your lungs. And when you exhale, then that diaphragm relaxes, pushes up on your rib cage, and forces the air out of your lungs. So a diaphragm helps mammals breathe efficiently and effectively. For the circulatory system, because we are endothermic, we have a 4-chambered heart. There are 2 chambers that receive blood from the body. Those are known as the atrium. And there are 2 chambers that pump blood around the body, and those are known as ventricles. In mammals, we have what's called a closed circulatory system. So oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are separated in veins. So it's a very efficient delivery of nutrients and oxygen to all of the major organs of the body. Mammal brains have to be a little more complex than fish and amphibian brains because mammals need to learn. So the cerebral cortex is the part of the brain that holds a mammal's conscious activities, short-term and long-term memory, and that's where the ability to learn resides. The ability to learn is very important in mammals because out in the wild, you need to be able to survive. The cerebellum for mammals is the area of the brain that is that deals with balance and movement. And so here we can see some kind of comparative brains between a reptile, a bird, and a mammal. And you can see the alligator is very innate, it's very programmed. A lot of its behaviors are instinctive, so there is not a very big development of the cerebral cortex. In a bird brain, balance and movement is very important. It's pretty difficult to be able to fly and stay upright at the same time. So you can see a little more development there in the cerebellum. And in the mammal brain, again, because we learn, that cerebral cortex is the largest part of the mammal brain. Mammals are very kind of glandy, sweaty sort of things. Different types of glands for mammals can secrete a variety of fluids and hormones. And glands are important because they help animals and mammals maintain homeostasis. There are different glands in mammals' bodies. Some mammals, like humans, for example, have sweat glands. You have glands in your pancreas that help secrete chemicals to maintain your blood sugar. Or you can think of some glands as a defense mechanism, like the skunk. So they can excrete that when they feel like they are threatened. Reproduction. All mammals are internal fertilizers, and all mammals give live births. For a particular group of mammals, embryo development will take place in the female uterus, And in the next section, we'll talk about the different ways that mammals can have their babies. And because we have a lot of different variety of habitats where mammals live, we have a lot of different limb types. We have runners, jumpers, swimmers, and flyers. But remember, in all mammals, these are homologous structures. So the bones themselves may look a little bit different, but that's just because they may perform a different job. This has been part 1 of chapter 30 on mammals.